Hey, you know what the last thing is you ever want to hear first night in prison? I don't want to make this podcast all about Hillary bashing, but we're starting it at the same time she releases the book titled What Happened by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Should be What Happened Because of Hillary. Got it on tape, audiobook basically. So I'm listening to her explain this. And, I thought if I get it that way, she might come off as somewhat human. I was wrong. So wrong. Just wrong. When she refers to Bernie's platform as basically references a scene from Something About Mary. The scene from Something About Mary is when Harlan Williams plays this creepy hitchhiker who has this amazing idea, compete with 8-minute abs. He came up with 7-minute abs. So she compared it that she would come up with some big grand plan to prove America, and then she would said that Bernie came up with something just a little bit, just a tiny little bit better. And then so she would come out with 8-minute abs and she would say 7-minute abs. She did not go into anything specific. And the real frustrating thing about the whole 7-minute ab comparison is that she doesn't give any examples about his immigration policy was just a little bit better than hers, or her jobs policy was just a little bit better, or her health policy was just a little bit better than hers. She doesn't give any of those examples. She just leaves it out so that people can just say, oh, so that's what Bernie did, if people actually didn't pay any attention during the primary. And everybody knows that Bernie's stayed in as long as he was on the committee that the DNC for their platform, along with Cornel West and a few other people. At the time, she welcomed Bernie. Now she wants to bash him because it was his fault, not hers. Fortunately, he's not saying anything. He's just saying that, I have other things to deal with right now. I couldn't necessarily find any of her policies that I could actually find trustworthy. During the campaign, she didn't really talk about her war policy. In fact, she didn't talk about very much policies at all. I remember it was more like she was basically bashing Bernie the entire time. Now she's accusing Bernie of bashing her. Now, there's plenty of bashing to go around, and deservedly so in a lot of cases. During the campaign, as I stated before, what I said from the Jennifer from the Congressional Dish podcast that led me to her national security address in November 2015. This was just before she started the campaign. That's when she said she wanted to put a no-fly zone in Syria. She does reiterate that in the book that she did want to put down a no-fly zone in Syria. But that part of the book, she's not comparing herself to Bernie. She's comparing that Trump is friendly with Russia. She let Russia walk all over us, including, influence our elections and things like that, which we know at this point is bullshit. Bernie never really went against her. They didn't really debate on war policy, unfortunately. Again, there weren't that many debates. This has been the Militant Moderate Podcast. I've been your host, Paul Michael Bolin. Please click like and subscribe because that always gives us a hand. It always gives us a help.